And the award for the most unnecessary album of 2018 so far goes to Quavo for Quavo Huncho. I'm not even trying to be shady, but Quavo put out his debut album as a solo artist called Quavo Huncho, like I just said, on October 12th. And like I said, it's probably one of the most unnecessary albums that's dropped all year. When I heard Quavo was dropping an album, I was like, okay, there's two thoughts. One, oh my god, cool, this is dope, because like we've been waiting for this. I've been waiting to see what Quavo could deliver solo and how it would sound, what he would do with it, how would it work, like, you know, how would it perform. But then the other part of me was like, I feel like this is such a random time for Quavo to be releasing an album. Like, one, his hype as a solo artist has kind of really died down like since 2017, and then on top of that, all the songs he's been putting out this year have not really been moving like that. Like, so it's like all the songs he's been putting out have been flopping. So it's like, I don't understand why his label thought it was a good idea to kind of, you know, to like, you know, press the gas on the album when his songs ain't moving. So I just don't know. The album still debuted at number 2 on the 200, so it, you know, it was like the second biggest album of the week. But I think that's just solely on the basis of like his namesake. It's not because the album is good. The album was really weak. It was way too long. It was like 19 songs, way too long. But on the bright side, guys, there were some songs I really did enjoy. I really did like the song, the first track, Biggest Alley-Oop. That was a cool track. I like the song with Drake, Flip the Switch. That was a cool song. I think y'all like it too, because it charted pretty high on this week's Hot 100. Working Me, the first thing off the album. I love this song. I just talked about it before. I love this song. Working Me is a total club banger. I love that song. Dope. I love Working Me. Go All the Way, the song produced by Pharrell. I think that was a cool song as well. I don't think Quavo's flow and his bars on that song were that dope, but I just love the production by Pharrell, so I think that's really brought it up for me. So it was a cool track. The song with Normani and Davido, Swing, on point. And I like how Quavo kind of went into like that Afrobeat dancehall vibe a little bit. That was cool. But you know what's fun? I'll go to that later. And then I also like the song Lost with Kid Cudi too. That was a cool track. But I think what's so ironic about this album is that if you look at like Quavo's success with his songs and, you know, his own songs and features on other people's songs in like the past year or two, Quavo has always been looked at as like the special, like the secret sauce for a lot of hits, and he has been, especially songs that he's featured on. But it's funny how he's always been the secret sauce, but on his own album, he ended up being outshined by, every time there was somebody featuring on his album, he ended up being outshined by them. Drake, 21 Savage, the song with 21 Savage, Pass Out, I don't like the song, but 21 Savage's verse was dope. And it made me so mad that like I wish it had been 21 Savage's song, because that song was like, his verse was dope, but the song was terrible. Drake outshined him. Normani and Davido outshined him on their song. Cardi B outshined him on the, and Madonna's part was not even really relevant, but Cardi B outshined him a little bit on her song, on their song. Kid Cudi outshined him on Lost. It's like every feature he had, he was really outshined by the feature. Takeoff, Offset, on his own album. And I'm just like, how is the dude who always ends up being the star of songs when he's a feature ends up being the person who's always being outshined on his own album? That doesn't make any sense to me, but that's what happens on Quavo's debut album. So yeah, Quavo's album was way too long. He was outshined. He didn't really bring anything new to the table. It just sounded like one long song. All the bars were just whack. It was just whack. But there were, like I said, the songs I did mention, the songs I actually really did enjoy off the album. Quavo, for next time, make your album shorter, come with better bars, come with a message, come with a concept, come with something more concrete than just a bunch of different songs that sound like just cousins of each other. So don't do that. And just work on shining more in your own songs, bro. But yeah, I'll probably give Quavo's album like a 2 out of 5. It's just not a good album though. But let me know what y'all thought about the album down below. Let me know what were your favorite tracks. Let me know if you actually liked the album. Let me know why. If you didn't like the album like me, let me know what were the tracks that you actually did like. I'm just curious to know what tracks y'all like. But yeah, all in all, y'all, Quavo's album, nah. Okay, now to talk about another artist from Atlanta that dropped the album this month, or it really is like an EP, but for some reason Usher's calling it an album. Usher dropped a new album with Zaytoven called A, and actually pretty much the album was like a dedication to Atlanta. So I'm pretty sure y'all been waiting for my thoughts on this album. So y'all know I'm an R&B kid, I'm an R&B head. So when I heard that Usher was dropping an album, the way I was so excited. But I have to say, I listened to that EP. I'm gonna call it EP, fuck it. I listened to the EP twice. I think it's like 8 tracks. I listened to the EP twice and I was just like, Usher. Usher, come on, bro. This is trash. This is trash. Oh, you know what? At the end of the day, I'm not even that mad at this EP or album, whatever, because I really think this is just a fun little project that I think Usher wanted to do with Zaytoven. I heard that he literally created the album like a week before it came out or some shit like that. So you could tell this album was kind of put together at the last minute. It's just a fun little like cute little like project to put out to kind of keep Usher like in the, you know, in the commercial market. But all in all, y'all, this EP is trash. The only songs that I do like off this album and the songs that redeem this EP for me, I keep calling it album. I'm gonna call it, let me just call it album, whatever. Project, I'm gonna call it project. The only songs that redeem this project for me are the songs You Decide and Say What You Want. That song, You Decide, is a great song. Out of all the trash on this EP, on this project, what's the song called? Like Birthday was trash. Yeah, this whole EP is just trash, y'all. But that song You Decide is amazing. I like, especially when I hear it more and more, I'm like, yo, this song is really good. I feel like You Decide is a perfect song that shows what Usher should be doing consistently right now, which is you can have that trap sound but still have that R&B essence that makes Usher Usher, and You Decide is a great example of that. Every other song on this project really just trended way too much in the trap direction, and I feel like Usher kind of got lost in the sauce, and he got lost in the shuffle of what Zaytoven was doing and what's going on in music right now in terms of the trap wave. But in my opinion, I feel like trap is kind of on its way out. So I don't know why an artist like Usher is following it instead of kind of creating his own sonic wave and his own like movement. But You Decide is a great pick off this album, and Say What You Want is a cool little song as well. So I like that track. But the rest of this album, rest of this project was trash. But on the bright side, guys, I don't even think like this is really like an album for Usher. I think this is somewhat of just like a taste, or like an appetizer before we get the real Usher album, which I think will be coming next year. I feel like Usher's gonna drop a really dope R&B project next year. But I think in the meantime, he just wanted to kind of play around with like, you know, the trap wave and like put out a cute little project, just to kind of like, you know, serve his fans and to serve the world. But this, I don't think the world really needed this whole project. But I do love the song. Like I said, I do love the songs You Decide and Say What You Want. You Decide, in my opinion, should be like a really big hit right now. I like that song. So shout out to You Decide. It's what saved this project. In terms of my rating, I probably would give this EP like a 1.5 out of 5. It's probably the lowest rating I ever gave anything on my channel. Damn, I'm sorry, Usher, but I know your album next year will be fire. So whatever is coming, I'm looking forward to. 2019, we better get it. I'm looking forward to it. I'll be waiting. Alright, y'all, so I want to talk about Future and Juice WRLD's new mixtape called Future and Juice WRLD Present World on Drugs. This mixtape kind of came out of nowhere. They teased it with like some announcements like earlier, I think last month, but I didn't really know it was going to come this soon. But this is a really interesting collab project. I didn't think Future and Juice WRLD were ever going to do a collab project. I didn't even know they were close like that. So it was kind of cool to see this come about. But I have to admit, I didn't really like this mixtape at all. As a whole, there were some dope tracks, but as a whole, I didn't really like this mixtape. The tracks that I really did like off this mixtape, I would say were the first single, Fine China, was pretty cool. Fine China was cool. And I love the songs. The songs I really love on this album, Ain't Living Right with Gunna. That song, Ain't Living Right, is a vibe. I love this song. And Transformer, which it doesn't have Juice WRLD on it, but that's the song that Nicki did with Future. And I think that there was reports that Transformer was supposed to be on Queen, which I could see, and I actually kind of wish he did put Transformer on Queen, because I think that would have been a better choice than Sir. But this song, Transformer with Nicki Minaj, is a whole vibe, y'all. Nicki was, I don't know. There obviously, like, people were saying Nicki was coming at Cardi, and if you listen to the lyrics, I could definitely see that. But I also think like Nicki's bars on this track really could have applied to like anybody, female or male in the industry. So I don't think it was that deep. But the subliminals to Cardi did seem pretty apparent. So Nicki, get your shit off. Get your shit off. I ain't mad at you. If Cardi gotta get her shit off, Cardi, get your shit off. If Nicki, if you gotta get your shit off, get your shit off. This is hip hop. This is what it's about. This is hip hop. I don't want to see nobody die. I don't want to see nobody hurt. But people gotta get this shit off and come at people on songs. Do what you gotta do. This is hip hop. But I appreciated Nicki's verse on Transformer. She killed it. Her verse was killer. She killed it. It was insane. And yeah, the track Ain't Living Right with Gunna was another highlight for me as well. Those are the only two tracks off the mixtape that was like, these are really good tracks. The tracks I thought were alright were Jet Lag, the first track. Astronauts was alright. Red Bentley with Young Thug was alright. Rilla and Rilla was alright. No Issue was alright. Water on Drugs was alright. And then the rest of the tracks, I really didn't like them at all. I really wanted to like the song Oxy with Lil Wayne, but I just didn't like it at all. I don't know. I just feel like this album was dry because it was just one long song about the world being on drugs, Future and Juice WRLD being on drugs, partying, women, cars, money, all that shit. It was just like they didn't bring nothing new to the table. It's a project we've heard a million times before. So I didn't really enjoy it like that. But if y'all did enjoy it, let me know. If I was to give it a rating, I'd probably give it like a 2 or 2.5 out of 5. But if y'all listen to the mixtape, let me know what y'all think. But I also have to say, I am a big fan of Juice WRLD, so I was really looking forward to this project because I love Juice WRLD. I feel like he's such a fresh, like talent to the game. I love what he brings. I love his voice. I love his music. But I just want Juice WRLD to stop talking about drugs. Stop talking about drugs so much, Juice WRLD. I know you do drugs. That's just life story. I get it. But your voice is so good that you could apply it to other shit besides being on drugs all the time. So stop talking about just being on drugs all the time. So this album, I mean, this mixtape wasn't really needed for me, but I did enjoy a few songs that I talked about. So go check it out and let me know what y'all thought about it down below. Alright y'all, so T.I. dropped his 10th studio album, Dime Trap, earlier this month. I'm really kind of surprised that T.I. kind of dropped this album out of nowhere. I feel like an artist of T.I.'s caliber, I feel like he would have been smart enough to know that he should have been building this release a little bit more. He kind of just put out singles back in September, and then he announced the album. Yeah, my album's coming out October 5th. It's like, T.I., no one's gonna be checking for you like that. Like, you kind of needed more of a build up for the album. But regardless of that, it's a pretty solid album. The tracks that I didn't really like off of it, I thought the intro track Seasons was okay. I didn't really like the tracks. Track number 7, At Least I Know with Anderson .Paak was cool too. Not terrible, but it was alright to me. I like Anderson .Paak's hook, but I feel like T.I.'s verses were like whatever. I didn't like the tracks More and More Jeezy. I just felt like a classic T.I. Jeezy. I feel like it's a track we've heard a million times before from Jeezy and T.I., so I wasn't really feeling that one. The track with YF and Lucci, Pray For Me, I wasn't really feeling that track. And I also wasn't really feeling the track Light Day, and I feel bad because I think his son Messiah produced that song, but I didn't really like that song. But other than that, I liked every other track on the album. It's a pretty solid album from T.I. It's not a masterpiece by any merit, but it's not a bad album. It's a pretty cool, solid release. I think this is definitely going to be a good addition to his catalog. He already released the singles, like I said before when I was talking about the BET Hip Hop Awards. He released the singles Wraith and Jefe with Meek Mill and Wraith with Yo Gotti. Those songs are bangers. And he also kind of released it as a single, the song The Weekend with Young Thug, which is a nice little like party weekend, joint. It's a vibe. Has some of like a Caribbean like island feel to it. Wraith to me that's like the sleeper hit on the album. That production just bangs on that song. That beat is like sinister, and it's just good for the streets. It's good for like late night riding through the streets, like when you're in the club. Like, I love that song. Jefe is like a Hispanic, influenced song that has like a mariachi band sound to it. It was produced by Bangladesh. It's a really cool, different beat for T.I., and I like what he did with it. I like what Meek Mill did with it. It's a cool song. Definitely go check it out. The video is cool too. It's a different vibe for T.I., but I think T.I. needs something like that at this point in his career. But yeah, if I had to say my favorite tracks, I think my favorite tracks are probably gonna be Laugh at 'Em. Big Ol' Drip was pretty cool. Like I said, Wraith, The Weekend. What Can I Say was a really cool track, and yeah, those are probably my favorite tracks. Yeah, so yeah, the Dime Trap was a pretty cool album. This was pretty much this T.I. kind of being on his like elder statesman shit, showing like, you know, his wisdom over all these years, what he's been through in the game, showing his knowledge of how to be a street hustler, but also how to be, you know, a dude running the game, to kind of like learning lessons in his personal life. Like he talked about a lot of different stuff on all these songs. So it was cool to see T.I. just kind of spin his game on what he's been through in his life and where he's at in his life right now as a father, a hustler, a husband. He had a song on the album called the Amazing Mr. Fuck Up, where he talks about all his infidelity with Tiny, all that stuff. So it was kind of good to kind of see T.I. just open up and really be like that older voice in his hip hop game right now with this Dime Trap album. So yeah, it was a pretty solid album. I'll probably give it like a 3 or 3.5 out of 5. But let me know what y'all thought about the album down below. Okay, and I want to talk about Amerie. Amerie, if y'all don't know, I'm gonna say it right now. If y'all don't know, I am a huge fan of Amerie. When I tell you, Amerie's first 3 albums that she put out back in the 2000s, All I Have, which came out back in 2002, the Touch album, which is low-key one of my favorite R&B albums of all time, came back out in 2005. I played that album out when I was a kid. And her Because I Love It album, which came out back in 2007, her first 2 albums are like 3 of my favorite R&B albums. I am a huge fan of Amerie. I love her. Her music is amazing. I feel like she's one of the most like slept on R&B artists when she was around, and even still now. But I'm so disappointed by her new releases, y'all. Amerie just put out these 2 new like EPs, or I guess she's calling it like a double album, but they're like 2 small projects. The first one was 4 AM Mulholland, and the second one was After 4 AM. So the Amerie, I love you, mama, but these projects wasn't really it. But I did actually enjoy a few songs. So I know the general consensus on the internet right now is that these projects were trash, which they really were, low-key. And I'm kind of sad by that, because I feel like Amerie has been one of the most like consistent female R&B artists of her time, and like I don't understand like how she came up with this material. These EPs differ from her past material because it's more electronic. It's really auto-tuned out. Like every song on these EPs is auto-tuned the fuck out, which I'm surprised by, but not surprised by, because I know she is more adventurous these days with her music. She's been putting out music like over the past few years, but it's just been very quietly released independently. And she's been taking more risks with her music, so I'm not surprised she like took a risk with the auto-tune, but I'm just surprised that like every song was like auto-tuned out. Everything was like really like I don't know, like really like trippy, and like it's almost like you have to be high to like really enjoy these songs. I wasn't high when I listened to these EPs, but I still did enjoy a few songs. On the first EP, 4 AM Mulholland, I actually did like the title track. I like that song, and I like the song See Me Cry, A Lover's Lament. On first listen I was like but on second listen I was like, okay, I actually kind of I like the vibe of these songs. Like they actually are kind of a vibe. And then on the After 4 AM EP, which I thought was a little better than the 4 AM Mulholland EP, which I think it's sad because I feel like the 4 AM Mulholland EP is like the focus, but I think the After 4 AM EP is a little bit better. On that EP, I liked the songs For the Lovers and Give It All Up. That was a really cool song. Give It All Up was really cool. And Just Saying It was a really cool song as well. So those songs I mentioned are cool, but in all, I just feel like these EPs were a big miss for Amerie. Amerie's been gone in terms of releasing an album for 9 years. She put out her last album back in 2009. So she's not put out an album in 9 years, and she's been gone like for mad long. So I just feel like I wanted her to really come hard with this new release, and these EPs were just kind of dry and just like, they all sounded like one long song. They all sounded like just like each other, so it ended up being a really like dry listen. But once I listened again and I actually paid more attention, I actually did like the songs that I mentioned. So it is what it is. On the bright side, guys, she has some really cool songs on this EP, but Amerie, what happened, mama? What happened with these EPs? But at the end of the day, guys, Amerie is a really talented artist. She's a really talented artist. If you don't like these EPs, that's fine. If you've not checked out her earlier 2000s albums, go check them out. Amazing work. I would say start with the Touch album, which is my personal favorite Amerie album. That album is one of my favorite albums of all time. From start to finish, I know every song, every lyric, every vocal. I love that album. So Amerie, even though these projects are whack, I just thank you for what you've given to me in my life musically. Your projects, especially your first 3, were amazing. But next time, I'm gonna need you to do a better job of like not just depending on yourself to produce, mix, and master your songs. Get different producers, get different vibes, get different songwriters, and don't just auto-tune yourself out the whole time. Like, come on, Amerie. But I appreciate the risk you took, but next time we need something different. Alright, if I was to give my rating for these EPs, I'd probably give the first EP, the 4 AM Mulholland, I'd probably give it like a 1.5 or 2 out of 5. And I'd probably give for After 4 AM EP, I'd probably give it like a 2.5 or 3 out of 5. But let me know what y'all think about her EPs down below. Alright y'all, Khalid dropped his new EP called Suncity a few weeks ago on October 19th. I like this EP a lot. When I first heard it, I didn't like it, but then when I heard it again, I was like, okay, no, it's actually a vibe. This is a really different sound. I'd say this whole EP is like a different sound for Khalid. He worked with the same producers who produced his song Love Lies with Normani. I think they're like Chamas and somebody, I forgot what their names are. But they're, I think Charlie Handsome and Chamas. So they created this whole EP. And I really like the sound that they created for Khalid. Is different from his debut album American Teen. It's more vibed out. It's more like ethereal sounding, and it's more trippy, but it still has a really cool essence of R&B throughout these tracks. And I really feel like he's growing as a songwriter. A lot of these songs were really written in really cool abstract ways, so it's a really like eclectic EP. If I had to give my favorite tracks for Suncity, I'd probably say Virgo. That was a cool track. Saturday Nights I didn't like at first, but it's actually a really cool track. Pretty much like where Khalid talk about how like he knows this girl better than her parents do. Really cool abstract song, really interestingly. Better is the first song off of the EP. I love this song. It came out a few months ago and I've been loving it ever since I heard it. Really like a different song for Khalid, but I like the direction he's taking with this more like trippy, more like smoothed out late night R&B vibe compared to his first album, like I said before. And then he had a song, the last track off the EP called Suncity, that I really liked. It was like sung half in Spanish, half English. It was really cool, featuring an artist called Empress of. I really liked it. This was pretty much like a dedication to, this whole EP was, but this song in particular was a dedication to his home city of El Paso, Texas. So it was a really cool song. I think that the hook translated to like, you know, keep me like in the sun or the city of El Paso, something like that. So it was a really cool song and I really like the vibe of it. I didn't really like the song Motion. I feel like that's a favorite off of this EP, but I didn't really like Motion. But if y'all love it, let me know why below. But I didn't like it, didn't really catch me like that. But I'm really excited for Khalid with this EP. It's a really cool project. I'm looking forward to seeing how this transitions into his next album, which I'm pretty sure will probably coming in sometime next year. But in the meantime, this is a great project to hold us off for now. I'd probably give this EP like a 4 out of 5. But let me know what y'all think about it down below. Alright y'all, so Summer Walker dropped her, I think her debut studio album called Last Day of Summer. For those of you who don't know who Summer Walker is, go check her out, get into her. Summer Walker is probably one of the, like, to me, like the dopest like new R&B artists coming out this year. Y'all probably heard her songs Girls Need Love. That was like a Twitter firestorm this year, and I personally love her song CPR more. I think that was the first song she put out this year. It was dope. Her voice, her vibe is just like smooth late night, you know, R&B vibes. Like ethereal, just like in your feelings, like late night chilling type of shit, and it's dope. I really feel like her voice is tailored for amazing R&B vibes. So ever since I got into her early this year, I've just been on her. I feel like she's probably one of the most like underrated like R&B artists out right now, so definitely go check her out. But this project by her was pretty cool. It was a really short project. It's like under half an hour. It's like 12 tracks. They're all really short. A lot of them are like less than 2 minutes, but it's a really dope project. She started out the project with a song, and then she went into this really funny interlude talking about how like she wants the men in her life to like disrespect her and like, you know, touch her on her booty and like, you know, rubbing her and like disrespect me, nigga. And so it was a really funny interlude, and I just like, it was just different. I liked what she was saying on it because it was just funny, and it was actually like real. Like some girls like they want that affection. They're not shy about it. And then that transitions into Girls Need Love with the song y'all all know, Girls Need Love Too. I just need some dick. I just need some love. So that song is cool. Shout out to all the girls out there. I know y'all love that song. Then that's definitely a highlight off the album for me. And then she went to the track CVIRO, which is a track that I love ever since I've been hearing it early this year. Amazing late night smoothed out track, just, you know, in your feelings, talking about how you need someone because like their love is like CPR to you, is dope. And some other highlights for me, Deep was a cool song that came out earlier this year. That was a cool song as well. Prayed Up and Shame are 2 tracks that really stood out to me. I just really love Summer Walker's disposition. I love how she just attacks tracks. I love how she comes on tracks, and I love how, like, what she talks about, like her vibe and the way she talks about things is just different, and it stands out. Her voice doesn't really stand out because her voice is pretty typical, but it's such a smooth voice, and it's a voice that you just like, that just soothes you when you hear it. But those tracks are really dope. I love what she was talking about those tracks. I like how she really like breaks down the female perspective, and she really talks about things in a different way than most other female artists do. So I really like what she gives to the game, and she like, this project was just smooth from start to finish. The only tracks I didn't really like off the album are the first track, I think it's called BP, and the track Smart Water. I didn't really like those tracks, but other than that, this whole album was a vibe. So Summer Walker, I'm looking forward to seeing more from you. I'm looking forward to seeing you grow. I'm looking forward to seeing what else you're gonna give us, because I think you're dope. And for those of you who don't know, she's on Black's label, LVRN. So I'm really loving what's coming out of that label. If y'all haven't checked out my Black video, go check that video out. I really love what's coming out of that label. They're just coming up with like really dope R&B artists who are just really coming up with like interesting concepts. The way they structure songs is just different. Like the way they write is different. I love what Black is giving to the game, and I love what Summer Walker is doing. I feel like she's somewhat of like a cool, like somewhat of like a female alternative to Black, and so I love what she gives. So definitely go check out her album, Last Day Summer. If you love R&B, if you just love like smooth late night R&B vibes, you're gonna love this project. Go check it out. And if I was to give it a rating, I'd probably give it a 4 out of 5. Let's talk about some late September albums. I want to talk about Marsha Ambrosius' Nyla album real quick. I enjoyed this one. I feel like it kind of went into the radar a little bit. But yeah, as usual, Miss Ambrosius is consistent as hell, as always. The only track I really didn't like off the album was the little 2K interlude, but it was just a little interlude, so it's whatever. Highlights for me include Bottle Full of Liquor. That was a nice little vibe. Flood, I think that's the current single right now, and I'm like, her label's on point with that, because that song is a classic, like, you know, Marsha is like sexy, like build up track, late night is on point. So definitely go check out Flood, one of the highlights for me off the album. I like I Got It Bad too. Let Out was a cool track. Leia was the first single off the album, produced by Harmony. I love that song. I thought it was gonna be like a little bit more of a little, like, you know, urban AC radio hit than it was this year, but it really wasn't. I also love Old Times. Is like a nice little like mid-tempo / ballad track. Like that was like her woke track on the album, talking about, you know, just the injustices of, like, you know, black men getting shot, all that stuff, and kind of wishing how we can go back to like the simpler times of like older times. So that was cool. Yeah, those are the standouts for me. I know a lot of people were saying like this album was somewhat dry in spots, but I really did think it was consistently pretty good throughout. Not like her best project, definitely not her best project, but I definitely did enjoy it, so I just want to highlight it real quick. If it were, honestly, y'all really need to go check out Flood. Like, I really think that song could really be a big song for R&B into the coming year. But I know her label situation is different this year, but man, Flood is a vibe, so definitely go check out Flood. Y'all will love that song, and also Love You too. Like I said, Love You is a great song. Yes, definitely go check out Nyla. If I were to give it a rating, I'd probably give it like a 3.5 out of 5. But let me, if y'all like the album, if y'all checked it out, if y'all a Marsha fan or not, let me know what y'all thought about the album down below. Alright, another late September album that I want to talk about is Logic's YS4 album, or Young Sinatra 4. I'm kind of surprised Logic really came with another album this year. I thought he was just going to stop at the Bobby Tarantino 2 album that went to #1 on the Billboard 200, but he ended up dropping this somewhat, I'm going to say, somewhat of a hip-hop like masterpiece on us. This album really kind of just was announced out of nowhere, and Logic, as usual, is one of the most consistent dudes in the game, in my opinion. I know a lot of y'all think he's corny, but like, this dude can rap his ass off, so it is what it is to me. This album, I enjoyed it. The only tracks I didn't really like that much, I think I only listened to it once, so I still need to go back and listen to it again. But off my first listen, the only tracks I wasn't really feeling like that, I guess, were the intro track, Thank You. I don't like the tracks One Day with Ryan Tedder. I don't like that song. I wish it wasn't a single for the album. I think he performed at the VMAs. I don't like that song. Because Ryan Tedder, honestly, it's like Logic's part is not that bad, but Ryan Tedder sounds terrible on that song. So I don't know why. I don't know why he didn't pick a different vocalist for that track. And then the track Street Dreams 2. I didn't think it was terrible, but I was like, eh. But other than that, I was really feeling every track off this album. It was long as hell. It was like 1 hour and 17 minutes, and it had a lot of features. Excuse me, a lot of like old school features. He had like all the Wu-Tang clan on Wu-Tang Forever. He had like Wale on a track, Haley Steinfeld on a track. He had Jaden Smith on a track called Iconic. That was pretty cool. So yeah, and then like the last track to end out the album, Last Call, was like this like 10-minute track that was really dope. Yeah, so this album was like really long. But at the same time, it didn't feel that long because Logic was just going in as usual. His MC skills are top notch. This dude can rap his ass off, like I said. So definitely go check out the album if you haven't already. If you are a Logic fan, if you checked out the album, let me know what you think about it down below. Off first listen, I'll probably give it like a 4 out of 5. Maybe I'll second listen a 4.5. But I think for right now, I would give it a 4 out of 5. But I really did enjoy this album. The singles, if you don't want to check out the whole album, I definitely recommend check out the singles that came before the album, and that was Everybody Dies and The Return. Those tracks are just like straight fire, and I feel like they gave you a good peek into what the album sounds and feels like. What I love about this album is that this is the fourth, this is the fourth in his Young Sinatra series, and this is the time where he really takes it to like more of an old school hip hop feel with the boom bap feel, like a more of a grittier feel than his usual stuff. And I really feel like he did a great job on this album of just having that old school boom bap New York hip hop feel on it. He had some old school features, he had some new school features, and it was a good mix of everything. It was a really eclectic album, and I think it really stands out from everything that's really been coming out lately. And it's another good solid Logic project. So yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think about the album. I'll probably get a 4 out of 5, but let me know what y'all think about it down below. Alright, y'all, now I want to talk about some EPs that have come out in the last month. First up, I want to talk about Victoria Monet's new EP, Life After Love Part 2. I talked about her song New Love in one of my older drop episodes I think I did a few months ago. And I talked about her Life After Love Part 1 EP, I think way early in the year. So you can go check those videos out. But Victoria Monet is a really dope R&B artist, songwriter, who's written songs for like T.I., Ariana Grande, different people. She's a really dope artist. I love her vibe. She gives like a 2010s version of like a typical like Janet Jackson type artist from the 90s, but like in a new way. I love her vibe. This EP is consistently good. From track 1 to 8, it's consistently good. I love the tracks Ready. That song came out in 2017. I love that track. Talk about how females need to get ready for when they find the man that they want. Like, they need to be ready. So if they want to claim that their man needs to be on point for them, then they need to be ready for the man. And I love that message. I feel like a lot of times women be like, I need a man to be this and be that, but it's like, what are you gonna do to make sure that you're on point for that man? So I love that song. Dope message. Do You Like It is a cool little like Afro beat, Caribbean dancehall vibe. New Love is a song I talked about earlier this year. That song kind of gives me like a 90s Janet Jackson type vibe. A really dope song, a nice really summer cookout joint. I also really love the song Love You Better, a really sexy track. And I think the highlight for me off this album is off this EP is the last track, When You Say You Love Me. That song kind of gives me like a 80s R&B vibe that I really did enjoy. So this EP was really good, y'all. I just had to talk about it real quick. Victoria Money is such a slept on artist. I love her voice. Her pen is crazy. She can dance, and she is fine as fuck too. So it's like Victoria Money is the whole package. She has everything we need to be a star. But right now it's kind of slow for her. I don't know why. But y'all need to stop sleeping. Go check out this EP. It's amazing. I feel like it's flown under the radar, but I love Victoria Money, and this EP is definitely worth your listen. So definitely go check it out. If I had to give a rating, I'd probably give it like a 4 out of 5. Alright, another EP I want to give love to is the Lost EP by Brent Faiyaz. Brent Faiyaz is a dope artist who put out his first album last year called Sonder Son. He's also part of a group called Sonder. He's a really dope artist. Whenever I hear Brent Faiyaz's voice, I just instantly feel like I'm being transported back to like the late 90s. Like, I don't know what it is about his voice and his vibe. It's just, that's what it gives you all the time, but like in a new fresh way. His debut album was pretty cool. I never got around to doing a video for it. I feel bad, but his album was pretty good. And now he's back with his new EP called Lost. This EP is pretty solid, guys. The only track I didn't really like off the EP was Came Right Back. I didn't really like the song part of that song, but I did like the interlude towards the end where he's pretty much talking about like how him and his crew and like his band are like on to different shit, how they doing like next level shit, which is like low-key true because this sound is very different. It's very earthy. Yeah, it's just very earthy R&B that's really like honed in on like natural instruments, really like deep grooves, cool songwriting, and it just stands out. So I like it. That's the only one I really didn't like on the EP. Standouts for me, I'd say, are probably the first track, Why Is It So Hard. That just stood out to me, especially as a black man. That was just a song he's pretty much professing why is it so hard, like the struggles of just him being a black man and just in general in life, and also the industry, him trying to be independent, him trying to be an artist that stands out right now in the R&B game. So that was pretty much like a really dope confessional track. I also like the track, I think it's a favorite right now that I'm seeing on the streaming services, the track Around Me. That track was a highlight for me as well. Pounds was cool, and then I also love the track Target on My Chest with Low Cendrix. Yeah, is it Low Cendrix? Yeah, Low Cendrix. That was a cool song as well. I think kind of like Khalid, this is gonna be like a bridge to his next project. I'm looking forward to seeing how he's gonna, you know, what he's gonna do on the next one. I wonder if it's gonna be similar to Thunder Sun or like different. I feel like it'll be different because, like he said on Came Right Back, him and his band are on next level shit right now. So I think it'll be dope. But this is a cool little like appetizer in the meantime. But yeah, I think, like I said, my favorite tracks are probably Why Is It So Hard and Around Me. If I had to give it a rating, I'll probably, because I only didn't like one track, I'll probably give it like a 4 out of 5. But let me know what y'all think about it down below. Alright, so I had to give some love to Jessie Reyez. Jessie Reyez just dropped a new EP as well called Being Human in Public. Jessie Reyez is a really cool, funky, weird, alternative like R&B artist from Canada. I don't know if you guys don't know her. You probably heard her on the Good Guy and Bad Guy tracks off of Eminem's Kamikaze album. And she did go on those tracks, and I just loved her sound. It took me a while to, I always heard her name in the past few years. I always heard her name, but I never really got into her. But I really got into her this year, and she's really dope. She put out a few songs before this EP came out. Apple Juice, Fuck Being Friends, which I love that beat on that song, and Dear Yessie, and Important. And the track Body Count, she put out the solo version. And then on this EP, she has the remix version with Normani and Khalid. Normani's gonna be all over this drop episode, by the way. I'm gonna talk about her in a second. But this EP is really dope, guys. I love Jessie Reyez. She's such a really weird, funky, vibey artist. Her voice is like 1 in a million. It's stellar. Her voice is so scratchy and weird and like almost cartoon-like, but it's so her voice just is like, it's magnetizing. So this EP, guys, from track 1 to 7 is a total vibe. She is an artist that's really aware of herself and like what she wants to bring to music. I think she just has a really different disposition. She really has a fuck you, I don't give a fuck what you think about my voice, my look, my style, my vibe. And it's just dope. It's really magnetizing, like I said. So my favorite tracks off the EP, I'll probably say are I don't know, I'd probably say Apple Juice, Fuck Being Friends. I love the beat on that song. Dear Yessie is a cool song. I like Imported too. And the Body Count remix with Normani and Khalid is on point. I love what that song's talking about, pretty much saying for guys and girls, like, don't ask about my body count, don't worry about my body count, and I won't worry about yours, because we all have a story, we all have, you know, histories, but that shouldn't affect our present, our future. So it was a cool record. Jessie Reyez, I think, is someone who really can be a legend, and I think she has a bright future ahead of her if y'all just pay attention. So go check out this EP and let me know what y'all thought about it down below. If I'll give y'all my rating, I'll probably give this EP like a 4 out of 5. Another quick EP I wanted to talk about, make sure y'all go check it out if you haven't already, is this new group. I don't know if they're new, but it's a group called CVIRO and Genesis. Their artist name is spelled weird, but they're called CVIRO and Genesis. They're a really cool R&B duo from, I think they're from Australia, or if not from Australia, New Zealand, but I think they're from Australia. Low key, if y'all don't realize, there's a lot of really cool, not only like actors, but a lot of cool artists that are coming out from Australia, especially in R&B. Like Hiatus Coyote, these guys, Grace. There's a lot of cool R&B artists that are just amazing that are from Australia that y'all just not aware of, that y'all need to go check out. So go check out who I said, Hiatus Coyote, Grace, and these guys, CVIRO and Genesis. Amazing R&B EP, straight like 90s, 2000s vibes, but in a new, fresh way about this whole EP. I really like the songs Twisted, Here We Go Again, Caught Up is like a highlight. Caught Up is amazing. Just go check out this whole EP, it's amazing. I definitely wanted to highlight it and recommend it for you guys. If you're looking for a new artist to get into, a new fresh group to get into, definitely go check them out. I'd probably give this EP a 4 out of 5 as well. Alright, so to end this episode out, we're going to talk about some songs that have dropped real quick that I want y'all to check into if you haven't already. First up, we're going to talk about Normani. Normani! Normani is coming, and I'm here, and I'm waiting, and I'm ready for it. Normani, she finally dropped her songs with Calvin Harris on October 22nd. The first was a song called Checklist with WizKid. Shout out to all my Nigerians out there. Shout out to all my Nigerian people out there. I'm so glad WizKid is getting these high profile features out here. Oh, I love seeing it. Shout out to WizKid, and shout out to all my Nigerians. And then the second one was called Slow Down. So both tracks were produced by Calvin Harris. They're not really Normani's debuts, because I guess Love Lies was her debut as a solo artist. But now I think this is more of a taste of what we're gonna get from her as a solo artist, besides what she did with Khalid on Love Lies. I have to say, I love Checklist. I think it's a song that the more and more you hear it, just gets more and more vibier and groovier each time. It has a really cool mix of like I'd say like Afrobeat, with some of like a garage influence in it, like a pop sound too, like a pop sheen all over it. It's a really cool mix of like a lot of different musical worlds, and I think it's a great showcase of what Normani can do. She really can give you R&B with like Love Lies. She can give you like worldly vibes with a track like Checklist. And then we have the second track, Slow Down, which is more of like a pop EDM song. I honestly didn't like Slow Down that much. I think the reason why I don't like it is because I don't like the breakdown. I love what she did with the vocal. The lyrics to me were not that great. Shout out to Jessie Reyez. Jessie Reyez did help write that song. Speaking of Jessie Reyez, she did help write that song, but I wasn't really in love with the lyrics like that. But I did like her voice on that song. Normani's voice on that song was really good, but I just didn't like Calvin Harris's breakdown. I feel like his breakdown was like really boring, and it just sounded like a really typical EDM, house breakdown. It didn't really give me anything new. So to me, that was the weaker track for me. But I think a lot of people are saying it might be the slow burner hit, which I could see happening. But I think to me, the real hit off of the double song, single or whatever, is Checklist with WizKid. I feel like Checklist is really like just a total like vibe. I think that song could knock in the clubs. It can knock on radio. I just think it's a great record, and I love that it's a really like I love how it's like catching on to the Afrobeat wave that's coming in right now. So I think it's perfect for Normani. I hope the song goes far. I'm waiting for the video, but I definitely just want to talk about it because Normani is here and she's coming. I'm excited. Normani, keep working on that album. Whenever your debut album is coming, I'm assuming it's coming, early next year. I'll be ready and I'll be waiting for it. Speaking of Normani, I just watched a few hours ago, actually, I watched her performance of like all her songs like Love Lies, The Checklist, and this new song called Waves of Black at the Tidal X concert in Brooklyn. Man, when I tell you Normani is cut from the same cloth as Miss Beyonce, Giselle Knowles, stage the vibe on stage, choreography, talking to the crowd, like everything she does is like cut from Beyonce's cloth, and she's the better artist for it. If you want to be one of the best, you gotta learn from one of the best. So Normani, at this point in her career, I'm so excited to see where the fuck she's gonna go from here, because the potential right now is just insane. The potential is insane. She killed her performance. She still can do a better job of balancing her vocals with dancing and all that stuff and interacting with the audience. She still has a way to go with that, but at this level right now, she's gonna be a problem. So Normani, keep going, mama, keep going, and I'll be watching. Normani's gonna be a problem, I'm telling you. Normani's gonna be a problem. All right, moving on to some other songs that dropped. I also want to talk about J Holiday. I'm not gonna go into depth about these songs, but I just want y'all to check them out because I feel like they kind of go under the radar, and I don't want y'all to miss them out. So please go check out J Holiday's song 25 to Life. For all my 80s, 90s, 2000s babies out there, y'all know J Holiday when he came out with this song's Bed, Suffocate in 2007, did his thing. He kind of fell off after that, but man, J Holiday is a great artist. I love J Holiday. His first album, even his second album were great projects. So J Holiday's back with a new song called 25 to Life. It's a great romantic R&B record. I like the way it's produced, I like the way it's sung, I like the way it's written. It's a good song. Definitely go check it out. Maxwell just dropped a new song called Shame that I really like. I don't think a lot of people really like it that much, but I really like it. It's not in your face, but that's typical Maxwell. Maxwell doesn't really release songs that you really like get into, really vibe out to like the first time you hear it. It has to kind of grow on you. But I really like this new song called Shame. It's pretty much just a song talking about how social media affects our relationships these days, and how we shouldn't be, and how like the girl in his life shouldn't be ashamed to be with him. that she should be proud of it, and she shouldn't be worried about social media, and she should just not feel no shame and just be proud to be with him. So it's a really cool record. I liked it was written. The video was dope as hell. It has all these women like in veils and like they're unveiling themselves. The cinematography was dope. I love the video. So definitely go check out this new song, Shame. Maxwell, I think, is gonna put out his album either at the end of this year or early next year. It's gonna be called, it's the last in the trilogy of the Black Summer's Night series. So I'm looking forward to the project whenever it comes out, because Maxwell is very consistent. So Maxwell, bring on the album. Another song that dropped is Anderson .Paak and Kendrick Lamar's Tints. This is the first single off of Anderson .Paak's new album Oxnard, which is coming out next month on November 16th. I can't wait till the album comes out. I feel like it's going to be a masterpiece, because Anderson .Paak does not play when it comes to projects. He knows how to make a good album. Anderson .Paak is that nigga, so I'm looking forward to seeing what the album's going to be like. But this first song is a great taste into what the album's going to be like. Tints with Kendrick Lamar. It's a great record. It's just a hit. It's a vibe. Talking about how he needs tints when he's riding through, you know, the cities of LA and all that, the cities of California and all that stuff. So dope track. I love it. Kendrick's verse was dope. I love the production. I don't know producer, but I love the production, and I love what Anderson .Paak did with it. It's a really groovy, funky track, so I think y'all love it. Speaking of Anderson .Paak, his group, the Free Nationals, also put out a new song as the first single for their upcoming self-titled debut album. I think it's called, it'll be called Free Nationals, and the song is called Beauty and Essex, and it features Daniel Caesar. So they're not actually like a singing group; they're just a band. So I think they're gonna get like a bunch of vocalists to sing on the tracks that they make for the album. But this is the first single off the album. Beauty and Essex is dope. I love what Daniel Caesar did with the vocal. It's a really cool track, so I definitely want you to go check it out. Whenever the album does come out, I'll see if I can talk about it, and you know, whatever future drop episode I do. But I definitely love Beauty and Essex, so go check it out. It's a really like sophisticated record, really produced well, and so I think y'all love it. Definitely go check it out. And lastly, speaking of Daniel Caesar, I just wanted to, you know, highlight his new track called Who Hurt You. It's a really interesting, fun track. I think we've never heard Daniel Caesar like this before. It's just him talking about how he met this stripper in Atlanta, and now he was like into her, and like and now he like wants her back. It's a really weird track, but it's also really cool at the same time. It's produced well. It's a great R&B vibe, sung well, and it's a really, I just like the way it was like arranged. I think a lot of people thought it was weird for Daniel Caesar, but I like when artists kind of step out of their zone and do something different than what they usually do. So I really liked it. But let me know what y'all thought about it down below. Alright y'all, so that was episode 10 of The Drop. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed all the music news I talked about, and all the albums and projects and EPs and songs I talked about. If there's anything I didn't talk about that you wanted me to talk about, an album that dropped that I missed, or any music news that I didn't talk about that I missed, let me know down below, and I'll try and talk to you guys in the comments if I can. But yeah, if you haven't already, guys, if you watched this whole video and you enjoyed it, hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe to my channel. Okay, I appreciate it. And also follow me on my socials as well. But this has been your boy Bright, the R&B Kid. Thank you for watching. But for now, I'm signing off, baby. Bye, y'all.
I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no. I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no. Relax just a little bit. You don't gotta worry, you can just have fun.